Hello and welcome to Talking Music, where every song has a story. My name's Paul, and what we like to do on this channel is get behind the song. Facts and information, stories and secrets. And the song we're going to talk about today is this classic from Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Now, this is the best song that Paul Simon ever wrote. Not my words, but Paul's himself. And at one point, the song was known as Like a Pitcher of Water. More about that in just a little while. The song was the lead single from the Bridge Over Troubled Water album from 1970, which went on to become one of the world's best ever selling albums. It was their fifth and final album because they were to break up later that year. Paul Simon was working on what would become Bridge Over Troubled Water, and he was stuck, and he got inspiration to finish the song from listening to the Silverstones, who were an American gospel music group, popular in the 40s and 50s. In particular, a line to one of their songs stood out to him. "I'll be your bridge over deep water if you trust in my name." Well, it's not hard to see the connection there. And after the song's success, Paul gave a check to the Silverstones in acknowledgement and appreciation. Bridge Over Troubled Water was recorded in November 1969. The music was recorded in California, and Art Garfunkel's vocals in New York after the music had been finalised. Paul wrote the song as a two-verse little hymn on the guitar and played it to his manager, Mort Lewis.
I'm out in L.A., and Paul said, "I've written what I think is my greatest song, and I want to play it for you." And I'm sitting in a chair, and he played Bridge Over Troubled Water. If you're around the music business all your life, every now and then, maybe once a decade, you'll hear a song that's so striking, so powerful, so unusual. And Bridge Over Troubled Water was that for me.
Paul and Art worked with session musician Larry Knechtel, who was shortly to join the band Bread, for 3 days on the piano part of the song, bearing in mind much of the song is piano. Their mission was to turn it into a gospel piano song. At this point, it was a guitar song, and you can hear how much it changed during its development, even lyrically from its early days. Here's a rare recording of Paul singing the song.
When you're weary, feeling sad, when peace is all you seek, I will be there. Ooh.
This was how the song was built. First piano, then bass and drums, and to finish the music, the strings were overdubbed. And then the whole song was sent as a demo to the arranger Ernie Freeman. Here's Paul again.
I sent the demo to the arranger, and the arranger came back and handed it out to everybody, and it said on it, "Like a pitcher of water." And then we said, "What is this?" He said, "Well, that's the song." So I thought, well, that's how much attention he's paid to this demo. He didn't even hear the words right. He just heard it like a pitcher of water. So I still have that framed at home, like a pitcher of water.
Now, all that was left was to put Art Garfunkel's vocals to it. Art had initially thought Paul should sing it because he thought Paul's voice on the demo was perfect for the song. But Paul wanted Art because he still heard it as a hymn and wanted it sung in a choir boy style. When Art agreed to sing the vocals, he had another request that he was sure would benefit the song.
It was a great two-verse song with the most heartfelt of lyrics. It needed nothing. But the record maker in me loved the notion that these two verses could be a setup for a as yet unwritten third verse. And we could be calling this all runway material for a takeoff that's waiting.
Roy, Hallie, and Artie said, "You have to write a third verse. The song wants to be bigger, wants to be a really big song." And I said, "No, it doesn't. It's a little hymn. It's just a little hymn." That's the way I hear it, you know. And they said, no, really, right? You really have to write a third verse. So I wrote a third verse in the studio, which I never do. You know, I always take a long time to write, but I wrote this one in the studio.
So that was how the third verse, the Sail On Silver Girl verse, came to be. Paul always thought that the third verse was less cohesive than the other two, and he still doesn't care for it too much. There is a story that the verse was written about his then wife, Peggy, who had found her first grey hairs, but how that would find its way into the lyrics and a song like Bridge Over Troubled Water would be a mystery to me. And Paul Simon himself was never sure of the song's commercial appeal. He thought it too slow, too long, not commercial enough. A great album track, yes, but not a smash hit single. It was Clive Davis, the president of CBS, who said he wanted to really get behind the song because it's the title track of the new album. It's the lead song. It would be the first single. And on top of it all, it has exceptional quality. So he said to Paul and Art, Simon and Garfunkel, have faith in it. And was he proven right? Even Paul came round to the notion that the decision to release it as a single was the right one.
And the first time I heard it on the radio, I knew that it was a hit because it sounded huge just with the voice and the piano. And if a song jumped out of the radio, that meant there was some kind of magic in the way you cut it.
Commercially, the song was huge. To date, the single has sold 6 million copies worldwide, and the album 25 million. This was its chart performance, first America. Went to number 1 February the 28th, 1970. It took only 3 weeks to reach the top of the US Billboard chart. That is unusually fast. It's usually a very long, slow process to reach the top, but the song literally flew up there. Stayed there 6 weeks at number 1, eventually knocked off by the Beatles and Let It Be. Turned out to be the year's best-selling single in the US, and the album was the year's best-selling album too. In the UK, it went to number 1 a month later, March the 28th, and it spent 3 weeks at the top. And in 1970, only the list of the top 10 bestsellers of the year was published, and Bridge wasn't in it, but the album was the year's bestseller in the UK. And it also went to number 1 in the Canadian, the New Zealand, and the French singles charts. One or two interesting facts about the song. Rolling Stone magazine absolutely loved it. They called Bridge Over Troubled Water perfect. The single won Grammys for Record of the Year and Song of the Year, with the album also winning many awards. And on the popular Dick Cavett show in America, Paul gave an insight into the writing of the song.
So it started out with me singing a song. The beginning of the song I had. Da 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 da. Now this part. That comes from a Bach piece. That comes from a Bach chorale. Ba da 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 da. Dee da 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 da. So that was in my mind. So that's how that part slipped in. Yeah. Then when you're really feeling small. Do 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 do. I was stuck there. That was all I had of that melody.
What makes you stuck?
I didn't know where. Well, everywhere I went led me where I didn't want to be, so I was stuck. As it happens, at this time, I was listening to some music by a gospel group called the Swan Silvertones, and I heard this. I kept playing this. It was the music that was in my mind most of the time, and every time I'd come home I'd put that record on and I'd listen to it, and I think that that must have subconsciously influenced me because I started to go to gospel changes. Da da da. And that's how that fell in. And then there was this one song. It was a very up-tempo thing, and the lead singer was phenomenal. He's a tremendous lead singer in this group, and he was scat singing. And at one point he shouted out, "I'll be a bridge over deep water if you trust in my name." And I guess I stole it, actually.
Paul has been honest and frank about Bridge Over Troubled Water. He says he feels a little jealous when he stands off stage and watches Art sing the song to rapturous approval. He remembers how he pushed Art to sing the song and how Art pushed back. I don't know about you, but I think maybe he should remember that without him, no one would know of the song's existence. That's Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. And that's it for another one. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do subscribe to my channel, Talking Music, where every song has a story, where we get behind the song, the facts, information, and dish out some stories and secrets. And there's lots more videos on some of the world's best known songs on the channel for you to view. So just click the subscribe button below. And it's absolutely free, of course. And I wish you well. So until the next video, bye-bye.